We are in the 59th episode of the Sledging Room, and it seems that over the past week, 59 things have happened in world cricket. This is Kingshuk. I have with me Alan John and Saurabh Kumar, and we have to unpack a lot of stuff today. So, first things first, we will get away with some information that we have from India today about the IPL retentions. And I will request Saurabh to start off with what he's been hearing from DC. A massive update coming ahead. Please, Saurabh, let's go.
So Delhi Capitals, as we know, there are two owners. One is GMR and one is GSW Sports. So the biggest news coming out of that franchise is that the Rishabh Pant, the star wicketkeeper, is not going to be the captain for this season. Because Hemang Madani is the coach and the ownership group that is handling men's team in the next 2 seasons, that is the GMR group, want Akshay Patel, or if not Akshay Patel, someone better at the auction. So that is a big thing coming out because Rishabh Pant was touted to be the best man to lead Delhi Capitals, and even Pant Jindal, the co-owner of Delhi Capitals, had come out in public and said, "Oh yes, we are going to retain him. Yes, he is set to be their first retention, but he's not going to be their captain."
Yeah, which is so odd because you see that over the past years, even when Rishabh Pant was injured, we keep talking about Rishabh Pant as he's the biggest commodity in Indian cricket,
Yes.
or at
Right,
least the
right.
next 10 years.
Absolutely.
Right?
Right.
And Pant Jindal making that comment is so funny because apparently how Delhi Capitals runs is that the Jindals run it for 2 years and the GMR run it for 2 years.
Yes.
So Pant Jindal is not in charge of Delhi Capitals directly.
Men's
Right
team.
now, right
Men's
now,
team.
yes.
Yeah.
Men's team. Yeah.
Men's
Yes.
So, yeah, I mean, it's a very surprising decision. And I think Rishabh has also come out and said, what if I go into the auction?
Yeah.
That is something that is going to be big, in my opinion. Like, if he goes into the auction, I think a lot of teams will be ready to offer him the captaincy
exactly.
and big money as well. So, yeah, it's a bit of a strange decision from Delhi, given that, whoever that they want to make as captain, probably Akshar Patel. Yes, Akshar Patel is a very good all-rounder. He has proven his credentials, but Rishabh Pant is Rishabh Pant. You don't make that decision overnight where you decide to drop him as the captain and then probably go for somebody else.
No, but what happened, as per my source, what I have heard is, so Rishabh Pant was said to be their first intention, and Pant Jindal came out in public and said it. After Pant Jindal confirmed it, Rishabh Pant on one midnight tweeted, "What if I go in auction?"
Yeah, exactly.
So that actually riled up the franchisee.
Oh,
Oh my God, what is up? What is he trying to do?
yeah.
What is going on?
Yeah.
And my source told me that before that tweet, on the night the tweet happened, 2 days before that tweet, Pant had gone to Dubai and he had met the GMR group owner, Mr. Kumar Gandhi. And there also everything was sorted. You are going to be our first nation and everything. Now, when that thing unfolded, it was a bit of controversial, or you can say unsettling in that Capitals unit. And then they felt, okay, so Rishabh Pant is overburdened with a lot of things. He is an all-format cricketer for India. And then his IPL performances as a captain, his batting gets overshadowed.
Yeah,
Because-
that is something that I
Yeah,
wanted to talk about.
yeah.
That suddenly, if this decision is made, then you suddenly have a different outlook towards Pant. That, okay, let's analyze how his captaincy has gone.
Yes.
There have been highs and lows. We cannot
Yeah.
deny that.
Yeah.
There are moments when he, against Gujarat last season, he bowled them out for 79 or 69 runs.
Yeah.
And he won the Player of the Match award based on his captaincy.
Yes.
But there are also moments where he has called back Rahman Powell.
yes,
That
yes.
no, it was a no ball.
Against
Even
last
even
season.
you
even,
come back, right?
even last season, the decision to bat first in Eden Gardens, a ground that is known for chasing, against KKR, and that backfired very badly
Yeah,
because
yeah,
KKR
absolutely.
ran through Delhi Capitals. So yes, he is not a finished product even as a captain. But when you look at it in the Indian cricket circles, I think a lot of fans and a lot of people say that, oh, Rishabh Pant is a candidate to be the Test captain. He's a candidate to be the ODI captain. So that is something that, again, like what this decision or what is happening in Delhi Capitals is a bit of a surprising thing.
Yeah. So the biggest problem, what I feel is, so what Delhi Capitals have done is they have gone with a clean slate. They have changed the head coach. They have changed the director of cricket. Ganguly is there, but
he's
he's
the
not.
director, but not involved.
He's
in the
director of
men's team
cricket
anymore.
of JSW Sports. So there are two different roles.
Oh.
Director of cricket for Delhi Capitals men's team, which is Venugopal Rao, and director of cricket for JSW Sports,
Oh.
which is Saurabh Ganguly.
Saurabh.
So Saurabh Ganguly will be overseeing the women's Delhi Capitals team, and the Dubai Capitals and the Petrolia Capitals. But Venugopal Rao is the director of cricket for Delhi Capital men's team. So too much confusion because one role, too many players. That is what is happening
So
right now.
even with the fact that what happens to Ganguly in 2 years time?
Yes.
Like, does he become the...
Yes, that is the interesting part. So the thing is, for the next 2 years, GMR Group is going to take the ownership of the men's team. Yes, when you talk about leadership group, people from GMR and JSW, they will be there. But after 2 years, JSW will rotate turns and they will come and take control. So what happens then?
Yeah.
So do you remove Venugopal Rao? Or does he just go to the women's team and now you say, okay, Saurabh only, you take care of the men's team? So it's a bit
It's
of
a-
kind
it's
of,
a bit of
as you say,
a-
khichdi.
Yeah, exactly. And the biggest news possibly for us in this going to this IPL retention window is that Delhi is not even the biggest khichdi available.
Yeah,
There are more spicier things happening around, and just next to Delhi, the neighboring state Uttar Pradesh, where we are based out of, apparently KL Rahul is not getting retained as a
Oh,
captain
yes.
or as a player. Alan, you have some news about that, please. Take us
So
away.
the latest reports that we had was the fact that he was not going to be retained. They are going with Mayank Yadav. And today reports had surfaced saying that Nicholas Purn is going to be their main retention at 18 crores. Then they will also look for Mohsin Khan. Then they'll look for Ayush Badoni and Ravi Bishnoi and Mayank Yadav. These are going to be their 5 likely retentions. So KL Rahul is out in the market. If any team
Needs a
RCB,
captain, an
RCB.
opener.
RCB needs a captain and a wicketkeeper.
And
KL
an
Rahul
opener.
is available. And
Yeah,
as an
yeah.
opener.
I absolutely cannot wait. 140 for 0, 20 overs at Chinnaswamy, KL Rahul and
KL
Virat
Rahul
Kohli.
and Virat Kohli, incredible partnership. Yes, that could be happening because
Yeah.
I think RCB for a long period of time had ruled the fact that they had let go of KL Rahul because during a point he had just entered his peak phase as a T20 player. Probably that maybe a lot of people will say that 2 to 3 years that he had with Punjab Kings where he was an incredible player. And probably RCB wants that flavor back into their team so that Faf du Plessis is now entering his 40s, even though he is a great phenomenon when it comes to being a cricketer, be it fielding,
Cricketer, captain, fielding.
everything. He's a great guy, but not someone you will see probably 3 years time he might say that, okay, I'm done with it. So KL Rahul might be the option. And we all saw what happened between KL Rahul and LSG during last season.
Yeah.
So that is what is coming out of
My-
LSG right now.
I don't know if you'll agree with me or not, but my biggest issue with KL Rahul is that you never know which KL Rahul turns up
Yeah.
Even
for the
KL
match.
Rahul does not know that.
Even
It
KL
feels like.
Rahul. I think that is what he...
Some days strike rate is not the problem. Some days strike rate, like his own statements, strike rate is not a problem in T20 cricket. Then next day he will hit 27 of 13 balls. Other days he will bat for 70 balls and score a century. I just like, if we analyze the number of innings that KL Rahul has played, those 70 ball innings, I am very sure that majority of them the team would have lost.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And this is what I read a report in a certain media house where it said that this decision to let go of KL Rahul, their captain, is not just based on what he has done as a captain. His strike rate is a major concern for a team. Because Zahir Khan and Justin Langer sat together, the report said, they analyzed the data and they realized that we need someone who if that guy faces 70 balls, he scores at a strike rate of 160.
Yeah.
Not someone who scores at a strike rate of 120.
Hmm.
And that is what has happened with KL Rahul. And this is why a lot of games where he has batted over 70 balls, his team lost.
Right.
And that is why he was not in the part of Indian men's team also that won T20 World
Yeah,
Cup.
exactly. Should this be looked as a Justin Langer move or a Sanjeev Goenka move? What do you think?
Think it is probably the coaches going up to the owner and saying ki,
Nahi ho raha
nah,
usse.
this is not going to work out, because last season we saw the two teams that entered the final, which was KKR and SRH. Both of them succeeded mainly because of their openers coming in.
Yes.
KKR did not have a lot of matches where a Rinku got a chance to bat or a Russell got a chance to bat. Usually the lower order comes in clutch for KKR, but the openers set the tone. Even right in front of KL Rahul, that LSG game where KKR ended up scoring more than 200 runs, I think almost 60-70 runs were scored in the power play overs. And
Yeah.
KL Rahul came in, he tried to take on the attack, he fell. So he is not a batter who's suited for it. There are also reports, I don't know how true it is, there are murmurs happening that CSK are also interested in
KKR too.
KKR as well. KKR as
Yeah.
well.
KL
is-
Rahul.
Yeah. Further to the east of Uttar Pradesh, if you go to Bengal,
Oh.
apparently Shreyas Rahul, sorry, not Shreyas
Shreyas
Rahul,
Iyer.
Shreyas
Shreyas
Iyer,
Iyer,
the IPL winning
winning
captain,
captain.
is not going to get retained by KKR.
Because apparently what has happened is that they wanted to retain him, whatever suggestions and reports that are coming in, they wanted to retain him, but not as the first choice.
So
Okay.
who is KKR's first choice?
Andre Russell,
Or Nareen?
Narain.
And this
Right.
means that Shreyas Iyer must not have liked the idea.
Shreyas
Being
Iyer,
the IPL winning
Shreyas
captain.
Iyer's, the suggestion from the camp or the sources that are saying is, it's also saying that Shreyas Iyer's head has been turned with the fact a lot of teams have approached him offering captaincy
Oh.
and more money.
So this whole Shreyas Iyer thing, have you guys seen the meme where somebody's on the noose and the other person comes in
Yeah.
First time.
and they say first time? So Shreyas Iyer
Oh, yes.
has gone to IPL final before, has reached an IPL final
Yes.
before with DC before he was sacked, and now potentially the second time this is going to happen, and
Happen.
maybe he can tell that to KL Rahul. First time, I don't know, something like that.
But yeah, so a lot of teams are in the hunt for Shreyas Iyer.
Why?
As a captain, and they are offering him more money, and that is what has kind of hindered KKR's plan. And KKR is somebody who has no problems letting go of
Yes.
their captains. We have let go of Gautam Gambhir as well, and we brought in Dinesh Karthik, and that did not genuinely work
Yes.
out. But then again, the management is not somebody who stands in the way of a player. If he wants to make more money, and probably if he's given more promise as well as a captain. So I think that is one of the decisions that has been made. And for KKR, I think again the retentions comes down to the fact that Rinku obviously is going to be one of the main retentions, and the West Indian duo of Nareen and Russell comes in. Suggestions have also been made that Harshit Rana and Ramandeep will be the next two retentions.
तो कहाँ से रखोगे भाई? Like,
You want to
how
retain your
many
old
people
team.
do you want to
But
keep?
that is the thing, right? So of the 5 people that has been said,
Ramandeep, the emerging A star.
the emerging star in the sense he can be a finisher who can be modified into a very, very good finisher,
Definitely.
because Russell does not
And he
have
bowls
time.
also, I think.
He
bowls
bowls
medium pace also.
his medium pace is not that great, but the fact that his fielding and his batting is incredible, it means that he will go for more than 4 crores in the auction. But a smart decision will be to keep him and groom him,
Yeah.
because last season he was sensational with whatever role he was given. Then obviously Rinku, then you have your West Indies duo, and then Harshit Rana. 5 people retained.
So they're
If
not retaining Phil Salt.
Yeah.
They're-
the best batter.
Yeah. They're not retaining
Varun
Angrish
Chakravarti.
Chakravarti, Varun Chakravarti.
Oh, yes.
So KKR has a lot,
lot
of
of
good talent.
problems. A lot of problems. actually.
This is a problem for all
All-
franchises who win the title
Yes,
before
yes,
the mega auction.
yes.
Yeah. So
Because you have a settler unit, and the problem with KKR is the amount of good young Indian core talent which you have. You can't retain all of them.
yeah.
Maybe you can use RTM for some, retain some, but then you let go of some who have actually performed for you.
Yeah.
And your team is properly gelled up. They know what to do on the pitch. You
Yeah.
don't know to go and tell them, okay, the plan is this, the plan is that. Now, because of this auction, you need to change things.
Exactly.
But also, I think like for KKR, the communication might be, "Ki, listen, we are letting you go, but our priority is to get you back.
Yeah.
Because we know that we have a settled team
Yeah.
and we can do better with it,
Yeah.
right? So, and it's not just KKR. There are other settled teams who have to let
Oh,
go
yes.
of all of their stars.
yeah. SRH.
SRH, the greatest team of IPL 2024.
Oh, which
Obviously.
did not win the title.
Which did
हाँ,
not win
वो एक मैच में हो जाता है
हाँ,
बड़े बड़े
yeah,
टूर्नामेंट में छोटी छोटी गलतियां होती रहती
Okay.
है So one of the things that I have heard is that the retention of Heinrich Klaassen and 23 crores is to spook out other franchises.
It's a gimmick.
It's a gimmick.
Yeah.
It is possible that he gets retained much below that, but it's to cause panic in other franchises that you have to pay your top player much more money,
Yeah.
which obviously affects the auction purse.
Absolutely, it does.
And I think it's a great move.
It is a great
It
move.
is a great move.
But
because
you know what shocks me? So SRH have played the gimmick. Now there are a few franchises that will fall for it.
Yeah.
But there are a few franchises that know, okay, let them do what they want. We know what purse we have, what plans we have. We will take a call according to that.
And I'll tell you the franchises that will fall for it.
Yeah, please name
RCB
them.
to start off with.
Yes.
100%.
Punjab.
You mark my words. Maximum of 2 players getting retained, all at big money.
Yeah,
Punjab,
RCB,
Punjab would have done it, but they cannot do it.
They don't
And
have
nobody
players.
worth retaining bar Arshdeep. So that's
Yeah.
the thing, I think. And
oh,
plus,
for
yeah,
Punjab, you know what I heard from Punjab? So Punjab actually offered Ashutosh. Ashutosh, they offered Shashank. They offered Shashank that we will retain you as the uncapped player. Shashank actually wanted to be retained, but somewhere some franchisee owner met him.
okay.
And then after that, he refused to be retained at 4 crore. He said, I am 32 years old and this might be my last chance to make big money.
Okay.
If I don't play for India, which I might not,
Huh.
considering the amount of dearth in talent which we have, depth in talent.
Hmm.
So I will go for a team which gives me more money.
Amount of dearth in talent sounds like Punjab Kings.
Sounds like Punjab.
So Punjab Kings
Right.
are,
So that is such an interesting story. Yeah.
Yeah.
More on it, please.
so no, this is what I have heard. Shashank Singh was about to be retained as an uncapped player, but because of this 4 crore gimmick, and then other franchises going to him and telling him, you are worth more than 4 crore.
Yeah.
You are a good finisher, and any IPL franchisee would love to have you in their team, considering you are an Indian talent and you can bat. You can change the game from any moment. So, and from then onwards, I've heard that he has refused franchise calls, saying, I don't want to retain at his 4 crore because this is my last chance. This might be my last chance to make
And
big money.
to
I'm
be-
not 22 years old, I'm 22 years old.
And that is something that we have to consider for these cricketers 32 to 33 who have been journeymen throughout
Yes,
their careers,
exactly.
right? I remember Shashank when he was at SRH, he did not get much game time at all.
Not at all.
And like teams have tried to groom him, but that just has not happened.
No.
And last year was the first time that we saw
He
with
got
the
a-
impact rule
Hmm.
what these Indian domestic players can do. Right? And he was alongside Ashutosh. I thought that Punjab's best two players.
Yeah, I think the batting order started with these two only.
Yeah, they were the
because
only.
first five though.
And in a couple of games, Johnny Base two scored runs.
Yeah.
Otherwise, there was no batting order for Punjab Kings.
Yeah. And you also sort of you spoke to Shikhar Dhawan. Could you tell us about that?
So Shikhar Dhawan has confirmed that he has taken a time from IPL. And
India Today exclusive. Watch this.
So Shikhar Dhawan is not going to play IPL. So when I asked him ki if there is any coaching role available, or does he want to take that? He said, I'm pretty much eager for that, but I have not been approached by any franchisee. And he, as a player, he has said that I have loved playing for all franchises. So I wanted to get that out of him, what happened last season. But apparently I was denied that question and I could not get the answer of what happened at Punjab Kings because he did not play the major chunk of the IPL last season. As we remember, he was the captain
Yeah.
on the paper.
Yeah. They said that he had a shoulder injury.
And the shoulder-
then they completely
And he
benched him for the
continued that,
season.
and after that, he just
And-
retired from IPL.
And
Yeah.
every press conference, Sanjay Bangar was like, no, next game. No,
yeah, they
next
were
game.
extremely bugged by that question.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, obviously, see, if I wanted to bench some player, okay, I would say kuch spine mein kuch hua hai.
Hmm.
If you come and say that it is a shoulder injury from a inner training, you are expected to get better in at least in that week.
Yeah.
Even if it's
1
a
or 2 weeks.
dislocation.
2 weeks. 2 weeks.
And
probably.
then just say like multiple bones have been broken, but then you can't because Shikhar Dhawan isn't training every single day.
Yeah.
There are photos.
He was
you are-
sitting in the dugout, coming
Is it-
out for interviews.
Yeah. So I think Punjab as a franchisee, I genuinely feel pity for them. Because,
I don't.
yeah, I mean, you could
They have no
say
clue
that.
of what they do.
The problem with Punjab has always been the ownership. The first season that they had where they were in the playoffs, they kind of set the tone and they looked a very good side. But the problem is after every single season they fail, they're like, oh, reset button. Oh,
Yes.
reset button.
And also the new Glenn Maxwell book portrays
Oh
Punjab in
my
a
God.
very,
Very,
bad
very,
light. We
very
need to
bad
talk
way.
about it a little. Alan, if you can explain.
So in that book, he says, he elaborates the story about how Virender Sehwag took over. And Virender Sehwag was the quote-unquote mentor, which is a role that a lot of people are taking up nowadays. And they had a coach, and it was well and truly clear from the first go that Virender Sehwag is going to be the man that is going to decide everything. So at least Maxwell thought that, if we are going in for the team selection, I want to have a separate WhatsApp group where I can communicate with the coaches because I am the captain. And only person who objected it was Sehwag. And then Sehwag said, no, I will select the playing 11. And then came an occasion where Ishant Sharma, one of India's great test bowlers, and obviously he's played a good role in the IPL as well. He was told not to travel with the team
Yeah.
for a match in Mumbai. He said, don't even bother turning up.
Yeah.
You sit at home.
But they ended up playing him as the
They
last
ended
minute.
up playing him because Ishant Sharma, being the professional that he was, went and did the gymming session, and he was on full tilt bowling to the batters. And finally, Matt Henry, who had performed well for the team, was going to be benched, which Owen Morgan did not like. Owen Morgan objected to it. And then finally they relented and they had Matt Henry and Ishant Sharma playing.
Yeah, it's
And-
just a complete breakdown of things, right?
And then finally, at the end of all of it, the season was over. Glenn Maxwell approached Sehwag and said, "Let me take the press conference, final one, and I'll clear it off." He's like, no, you go home. On the way home, he saw that he had been kicked out of the WhatsApp group. And the moment that he reached the hotel, everything blew up. He was like, I was getting constant messages and calls from people saying that Sehwag has pinned all the blame on you. You had not stepped up as a captain. And that completely destroyed his thing. And where he went and said that, listen, if you are continuing with Sehwag, this franchise is not going anywhere and I will not be a part of it. And
Yeah.
obviously he was not a part.
Yeah. So to quickly wrap up the IPL thing, because we have
No,
other things to
yeah,
talk
but
about.
Before we wrap up, should we not talk about the two greatest franchises in IPL history? Mumbai Indians, CSK.
Yeah, so before we wrap up the IPL thing, I was going to talk about CSK and Mumbai.
yeah.
And so CSK, it seems that, oh, sorry, Akshay, I have to say, we have to take this thing that MS Dhoni is apparently going to play.
Yeah.
Yes.
He's hinted that he's going to play.
Yes.
And he has said that I want to enjoy the years that I have left
Yes.
in IPL, not a year.
Yes.
He's not saying for a year. He's
Plural.
saying years, plural. So I don't know what's happening there. But as we all know by now, that if MS Dhoni does stay at CSK, he's going to be retained as an uncapped player. We don't know how much that will cost. The rules are not very clear on that. It could be 4 crores and above.
Yeah.
So I don't know how much money they'll pay Dhoni for it. But more than CSK, I think we should focus a little bit on Mumbai Indians.
Yes.
Because a complete breakdown last season. Multiple potential stars that can be retained as the first choice.
Yeah.
What is happening? They've brought Mahela Jayawardene back.
Yes.
What is happening, Saurabh?
So Mark Boucher was their head coach, and Hardik Pandya was brought in from Gujarat Titans, and then they let go of Cameron Green and they made Hardik Pandya the captain. That did not turn out well, and Hardik Pandya was booed. Then he won in the T20 World Cup. Now he's not even the India's T20 captain. Okay?
Yeah.
So now what I am hearing is Rohit Sharma is set to be back as the MI captain.
Oh,
So
that
the
would be
partnership
big.
which gave Mumbai Indians 5 titles, Rohit and Jayawardene, it will be back at the helm of affairs. First thing. Second thing, Bumrah, Suryakumar Yadav, Tilak Verma, all these players are going to be retained.
Wait, where is Hardik Pandya?
Yes, that is the biggest thing. Now Hardik Pandya, what I am hearing is Hardik Pandya might be retained, but there is no confirmation. There is no confirmation. And one more thing, they will not retain any foreign players as of now, which I am hearing. It might not be true.
Who do they have as their
For-
top foreign players?
Nobody.
Nobody, actually. They don't,
Nobody.
they rely on, they have
Yeah.
so many good Indian stars. Bumrah, Suryakumar
So
Yadav.
if you look at it last
David,
season,
Tim David. Tim David is
Tim
the only big
David,
name.
But Tim David is big name, but he did not perform. up to
but
potential.
if you look at that Mumbai Indians team, the biggest problem that they have is retaining that Indian core.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Indian core that
And
they
who
have,
to retain where?
where? Because now, if you are retaining a Tilak Verma, that means Ishan Kishan is gone.
Oh, yes.
Ishan Kishan was
So,
their opener.
Saurabh, you said Rohit Sharma, Jasprit Bumrah.
Rohit, Bumrah, Tilak, and Suryakumar Yadav. That is what I am hearing.
That's
confirmed.
4.
Yeah. Fifth could be Hardik Pandya. Could be Hardik Pandya. That's what I am hearing.
And that will essentially take out a big chunk of money from the
Yes,
franchisee.
exactly.
And they will find it a little troubling to, make that squad, which at least needs to be, I think, 18-20 members or
Yeah,
something
but
like that.
what I am hearing is they will not let go of any of these core players because they or any team, any T20 team will do not have this luxury. Having world number 1 T20 bowler, one of the greatest T20 batters, one of the most successful T20 captains, so they have everything, the recipe for success. All they need to is to manage it properly, which Mark Boucher could not.
Yeah.
So Mahela Jayawardene is back, and hopefully he will manage things very, very
So
adaptively.
my question is, who is going to be the number 1 pick in MI in that case, according to
He's
you guys?
arguing Rohit, I think.
No, so the argument which I have heard is going to be Bumrah.
Okay.
Ah.
Yeah,
Bumrah
that
is going to
makes
be
sense.
That makes a lot
That
of-
should ideally be a
Yeah.
no-brainer.
No brainer.
But these are reports. I have not heard it from anywhere. I have read reports. That is what I'm telling. So it's going to be the auction. I don't know what auction before auction. This IPL attention on Diwali, it's going to be full dhamaka.
Yeah.
We are going to see so many things. So I don't know how many captains will be released. We don't know how many players will be retained. Let's see what happens, because we are all going to be glued to the television set, and we are going to love it, whatever happens.
Yeah, we are going to be glued so that you need not.
Yes.
In case you want to celebrate your Diwali with your families, go have a full blast,
Yeah.
because we will be covering everything and we will be putting it together in a chunk
Yeah.
for you guys. So let's move over IPL now a little
Yes.
bit.
Yes.
Let's come back to national duties as we have to, because for the first time in 70 years that New Zealand have traveled to India, they have defeated us in a test series, and it has happened in the first two tests of a 3-match series where India have been outplayed.
Yeah.
First in Bengaluru against pace, and then in Pune by spin.
Yeah.
There have been varied reactions. There has been a lot of hate towards Rohit and Kohli,
Mhm.
and little bit towards Gambhir also.
Yeah.
What are your takes on where does this? Is this the beginning of the final transition of this Indian current team?
I think we were already in the transition phase. We did not accept it. Now that this result has come, losing a test series after 12 years at home, you have to accept it. Because that press conference, more than the defeats, whatever happened, it was really, I can say it was very disheartening. Because you did not only lose, you were outplayed on both test matches.
Yeah.
You were bowled out for a lowest total in Bengaluru. As a captain, you made a wrong decision. Good that you accepted it on day one press conference, but by then you had lost a test match. Okay, you lost a test match. New Zealand won their first test match in India after 36 years. Then you came to Pune. There was panic button. Okay, you changed 3 players. You made a spin friendly. Yeah,
You brought a player back after
Yeah.
4 years.
yes. And what happens is New Zealand make one change.
Mhm.
Matt Henry goes out. Mitchell Santner comes in.
Hmm.
So Henry was the match winner in the first test. Santner becomes the match winner in second test.
Yeah.
Santner, who had picked only one 5-wicket haul in his entire first-class career, picked up a 13-wicket match haul.
He had some 40 wickets in his
Yeah.
entire test
So
career,
he
man.
picked, I think, 20 to 22% of his test wickets in one test match against India in Pune.
against India.
Which is just a crazy number for your career. right?
And to put that into perspective, what hurt India the most was so-called, I think, not so-called, he is one of the greatest spinners, as we call R. Ashwin.
Hmm.
He was nowhere to be seen in that game.
Both games.
Both games.
Both games, yes. He picked up 3 wickets in the first innings, but after that, Sundar came in, he took over, he took 7 wickets,
Yeah.
and then in the next innings, Ashwin was nowhere.
And for me, in terms of Ashwin, what really shocked me
Hmm.
in the Bengaluru test match was that on a day 5 pitch, Ashwin came with the ball in the 25th over. Or let's say that Rohit Sharma gave him the ball in the 25th
Yeah.
over, and by that time only some 9 or 10 runs
Yeah.
were remaining. What does that speak about Ashwin, who recently went ahead of Nathan Lyon in terms of most test wickets in the history of cricket?
For me, I told it to Akshay also that day, that Washington Sundar's selection genuinely feels like, it is time for Ashwin to leave. That is what I have felt. Yeah, Ashwin might be one of the greatest spinners that India has ever produced. His numbers obviously say it. But he's at the fag end of his career. Let's make no this thing
Yeah,
about it.
37-year-old R. Ashwin.
Yeah. And there is no denying the fact that he's a great spinner.
Yeah.
Age is catching up to him. You saw Washington Sundar come in. I think Washi was one of the players on that day that showed a little bit maturity and comfort while batting as well.
Yeah.
And when it came to his spinning and when it came to his deliveries, he was smart enough to kind of adjust his pace correctly. That is one of the few things that I saw that stood out from Washington Sundar. And the fact that Gambhir decided to bring him out of the Tamil Nadu team to play this match kind of shows that, it is kind of a symbol, kind of a sign to Ashwin that we are going to be slowly transitioning you out of this and we are going to bring in Washington Sundar. That is what I feel. For me, I feel Ashwin's career is slowly coming to an end.
And also, what about Jadeja then? We are putting Ashwin on the line of fire. What about the other senior members of the Indian team?
So let me put into perspective. Fine. It's not just about one Ashwin. Ashwin, Jadeja, Virat Kohli for that matter, Rohit Sharma for that matter. All these players who are on the wrong side of 30, the experienced players of Indian test team. It's time. I'm not saying they should retire, but it's time they should start looking out. Why? Because your performance as a team gets hampered when your senior players do not perform.
Yeah.
We won a test series against England. Who were our top performers? Sarfraz
Yashasvi
Khan,
Jaiswal,
Yashasvi
Sarfaraz
Jaiswal,
Khan,
Dhuru Jurel,
Bumrah.
Bumrah, Akashdeep Shine.
Yeah.
So these players, they are young players and they are proving that they are up for the task and they can do the
Shuman
job.
Gill also.
Shuman Gill also. Jaiswal has been sensational in this year. So the young players are up there to take over the
That's
mantle.
such a very good point because
Yeah.
I was checking out numbers yesterday. So Yashasvi Jaiswal has batted over the last year and a half at an average of 59-60. If we compare Virat Kohli's time with the Indian team, whatever start time he has had because he has had personal duties, he averages something around 35-37. If you take away that one century from Ahmedabad that he
Yes.
scored against Australia,
Yes.
that numbers drop to low 20s.
Yes.
And
Absolutely.
we have to talk about it.
Yeah.
We cannot keep shielding Rohit and Virat as the greatest player that India has seen. Yes, they are. But we are not saying that drop both of them. We are saying that have a plan.
Yeah.
Because replacing a number 1 and a number 4 in a space of couple of months could be a very difficult task for India.
So I asked Shikhar Dhawan about Rohit Sharma's captaincy. And he was very, very furious. He's like, why are you questioning Rohit Sharma? He just won you the T20 World Cup. I said, no, but they lost a home test series. He's like, this is the problem with media. This is the problem with fans. You lose one series and then they forget what you've done for the country. This is not how it works. You did not lose a series. You were bruised, you're battered by New Zealand. And credits to New Zealand, Tom Latham. What a legendary captaincy from the man. The players from New Zealand, nobody gave them a chance after they lost to Sri
Because
Lanka.
they just lost to Sri Lanka, right?
And then they come, they steamroll you in both test matches. You had no clue what you were doing as a batter, as a bowler, on the fast bowling track in Bengaluru, on the spinning track in Pune. So as a captain, Rohit Sharma miserably failed. Defensive moves, wrong toss decisions, and the playing 11 blunders that he made. And more than that, as a batter, we need him. Kingshuk, you wrote a feature. Can you dwell on his numbers? What has he done as a batter in the last 10 test matches or whatever you wrote in that?
Yeah, so like Rohit's numbers are quite indifferent. The problem is that an average of 33, 34, 35 is not as big a problem. What I felt was that in his numbers over the last, since he's taken over captaincy, his number of single digit scores have increased.
Okay.
Before that captaincy period, I think in the last, since 2017, when he becomes regular in the Indian team, there are 2 single digit scores only in back-to-back test matches. I think second innings of the previous test match and first innings of that test match. After that, since he's taken up captaincy, that number becomes 7-8.
No.
When he's scoring a fast 52, whatever, fast 70, whatever. But the number of times he gets out in single digits, which directly speaks to the instability of the Indian batting lineup, that has become more. Which I think is a mega problem as we are going into the BGT.
I think also the fact that, we have all seen Rohit kind of reinvent himself in white ball cricket. In test cricket, he's not being able to do that. Test cricket, the fact that if he is trying to go for an aggressive approach, you have somebody who's doing it way better in Yashasvi Jaiswal.
Yeah.
Trying to be defensive is not working out for him because when he tries to go on the defensive, if you look at all these test matches, all the 4 test matches, the shots that he played, the first innings, Bengaluru, he tried to attack Tim Southee, got bowled. Second one, he tried to defend, got bowled.
And that's a very similar dismissal. He lost his off stump against Saudi,
Yeah,
which makes me think that, oh God, I'm going to face Stark, Cummins and Hazelwood.
And if you look at the second innings against Smith Sandner, there was no need for him to go ahead and defend. He could have defended it on his crease. Instead, he tried to go ahead and defend it.
Which ball are you talking about? Is the one that rolls back to the stumps?
No. The second innings.
The Pune test second innings.
Oh, that is also kind of rolling back to the stumps.
Yeah.
Edged it, hit his body and went in, right?
No, he did not get bowled. He got caught. Caught by William.
Oh, I don't remember this one.
Yeah. So he went ahead, tried to defend it. He got a nick onto his pad and it was taken by William.
Okay.
So always we have seen that Rohit has always reinvented himself. But when it comes to test cricket, he's not finding the correct answer to it. He is always looking a little confused, a little here and there. Whether it is to attack, he plays aggressive cricket, as we saw in that Bangladesh match. Hit 2 sixes on the get-go. But he has a partner who is way better in doing that at this point in time.
Yeah.
ODI cricket, he did not have that partner. T20I cricket, he did not have that partner. So he had the freedom to go for it.
Yeah.
Right now, it feels like Rohit Sharma is a little trapped in this team as to what his identity has to be as a batter. And that is kind of affecting his performance. with the bat.
Which is such a contrasting thing because Rohit keeps talking about this role clarity
Yes,
Huh.
that he needs,
exactly.
that he gives to every single one of them.
And that is always there in white ball cricket. In T20 World Cup and in the ODI World Cup, what did we always see? Rohit Sharma attacking from the front,
Yeah.
giving everybody else time, giving everyone else time. He was attacking from the front. He said, that is my role to do. If you ask him what is his role in the test team, he will say, opening batter. That's it. What is the opening batter supposed to do? You look at an England team, you have Ben Duckett who goes absolutely berserk, and that is his role. He has been always said that you attack no matter what. But what comes to Rohit Sharma? Rohit Sharma does not have that role where he is not sure what to do. That is where I felt that he tried to attack and then he decided to defend. That is kind of
he
his
got
role.
confused, yes.
He is completely confused with his role as a batter in the team.
That's a very good point. That's
Yeah.
actually a very good point.
So that is what I feel. That is my genuine thing.
And when we talk about Rohit, Virat and all, fine that we have been a good test team. We have reached WC finals twice. But now that you have lost a test series to New Zealand and South Africa on a winning march, you might not reach the WC final this
Yeah,
time.
we have to talk about the qualification
Yeah, that's the
scenarios
main
also.
thing.
Yeah.
Because now, what I have read and you must have also read, that India need to win at least 4 test matches
Out of the 6.
out of the 5.
Six.
Sorry, 6.
5 in Australia
Yeah,
and
and
1
one
And
against New
even
Zealand.
then, it's not assured because
Assured.
now the thing has shifted to South Africa because they won in Mirpur and you lost in Pune and Bengaluru. Now you don't control your destiny in WTC. You actually, what you can do is you give your best performance. You beat Australia in 3 test matches, which I don't know how it will happen considering how we performed in our home tour. And this test team which is going to Australia for Border Gavaskar Trophy, there are so many questions up there also. So there are reports which says that Rohit Sharma will not play the first test. Who will be the captain? Bumrah.
Bumrah, yeah.
Then why are you
Vice
playing
captain.
him in every test match in India?
Yes.
What about his workload management
Yes,
that you have been crying about every now and then?
We have panicked at our own backyard.
Yeah. Gautam Gambhir comes out, they said, oh, we don't drop players, we pick players. So after all that talking about KL Rahul, why did you not pick him for the Pune test match?
Never trust a politician, man.
Exactly. I mean, there is so much to talk about and the confusion is still there. Because Border Gavaskar Trophy, it's going to be tougher than ever. Australians are waiting for it. Pat Cummins has achieved everything that he has to.
And the funny side of things is also,
Hmm.
for a long period of time, let me be honest with you guys.
Hmm.
A long period of time, I was okay with the fact that guys like Rohit, guys like Virat Kohli are not playing Ranji Trophy. Right? We are always supporting it, given that they always used to perform on the stage. Now, when you look at the other side of the thing, down under, in Australia, we are seeing Steve Smith struggling. But
Yeah.
he's still playing the Sheffield
Yes.
Sheffield Shield.
The preparation for it.
The
right?
preparation is there. Or in the Sheffield Shield, they are also looking for their new opener, Sam Constas.
Yeah,
Yes.
19-year-old
And everything is revolved around that fact. Marnus Labuschagne bowling medium pace. Everything is happening there. It means that these guys are getting ready because it's being played in Australia. They're getting ready for it
Yeah,
using the
absolutely.
Sheffield Shield.
The funniest thing that I read was that Virat Kohli's last Ranji game was before Sachin Tendulkar's last Ranji game.
Yeah, so Virat Kohli played his last Ranji game in 2012.
Hmm.
Sachin played his last Ranji game in 2013.
Yeah,
2013. Yeah.
And now that you're retired from T20I 6 months ago, why can't you play Ranji Trophy?
exactly.
Not
that
every
is a
game.
big question that has to be answered because
And Delhi are also in such a bad shape. May
Yeah.
as well.
may as well use it because the fact of the matter is we always stress, like whenever a guy like Sarfraz was not getting the chance, we were always up in arms asking what will happen to Ranji Trophy. Why is Ranji Trophy still there? It is there because it has always been a breeding ground for talent.
Yeah, India Test cricketers.
And the fact of the matter is it should be a ground where these players go back and work it out as well, get ready for the situations, and that is not being done. And that is a serious thing that is now slowly has to be addressed by these players. That why are we deciding not to go for Ranji Trophy? Virat Kohli has the time to, after a test series, to go back home to London, which is fine.
Yeah,
But
family
then
comes
before
first. Yeah.
before a big series, why not use your time, use your downtime to play these matches? I understand that you might be going, it might not be a fancy stadium and you might be playing in a very small ground. But the fact of the matter is you get the runs under your belt, you get confidence, right? Sarfaraz was confident. That is why he performed in the Bengaluru test. in conditions that he was acclimatized to.
Yes.
So that is missing from these players as well. And so this is a big question as well, that Virat Kohli or Rohit Sharma might need to think about, coming back into the Ranji scope as well.
Right. So I think that is the time that we have. It's also a very good note to end on, pondering if Rohit and Virat should go back to Ranji Trophy, how India are preparing for the Border Gavaskar Trophy. We wanted to speak a lot more on the Pakistan recent meltdown, on David Warner wanting to come back to BGT, but I guess that's the time that we have. Before we leave, we also want to thank our listeners who have put out lovely comments on the YouTube section, and we encourage you to tell us more about what you think about the game, and about IPL retentions, about the BGT, etc., etc. If this is the first time that you have chanced upon our podcast, we are available in Spotify, Google Podcasts, and YouTube. And it's time that we ask our listeners and viewers to share their feedback. You can send in your feedback on 8588 966 996. You can also email us at pods@indiatoday.com. This is Kingshuk Kusari, Alan John, and Saurabh Kumar signing off. Thank you.